Welcome to this beginning tutorial on Mount and Blade Warband. And if you're just starting out, this is a good place to be. Now, the first thing I want to recommend, after you finish this tutorial, of course, I would like you to go do the play tutorial. I think that's a good idea. And I'll tell you why, because it's going to teach you all of the combat basics. How to swing an axe, how to throw a spear, how to ride a horse. I highly recommend you do that. It is actually one of the better tutorials in terms of combat. It's not going to really help you out with most of, 95% of the rest of the mechanics of the game, but I do highly recommend that you take this. Now, you can learn trial by fire if you want, but I found this very useful. Now, the other thing I want you to take a look at before you start your new game is to hit options. There's a couple things here that I think you should think about doing before proceeding on. Now, one thing I would definitely do is lower the damage to yourself. I would put that on the easiest, as well as your friends. I would also take the combat AI down to poor, and the campaign AI down to poor as well. I would set these all the way down because for the reason that you really want to learn the mechanics of the game, how the combat works. It doesn't mean you can't die, and you still probably will. They can still hit you, and you will take damage. So don't let me fool you in any way. But I would set these for sure because it'll just make it easier for you to learn the mechanics of the game, which is what you're trying to do. You might not master it. Well, maybe you will, but you probably won't master it for the first couple attempts, but eventually you'll get the game down. It'll start making sense, and it will be a sheer joy to play. I can tell you that. Okay, so after that's out of the way, you want to go and start your new game. So you're going to do that, and you can read all this stuff. It'll tell you about how you got to create your character and things like that. So then you hit continue, and you pick your gender. Now, I do believe the males get a little bit more respect, if I recall, than females in terms of like becoming the king and stuff. But I don't know. You can choose whatever you want, but I would pick male. Now you're gonna come here and you're gonna pick who your father was. Now these options, and I don't know them offhand, will affect the first four attributes you have to pick: intelligence, charisma, strength, and the other one's eluding me here for agility. So those four. So if you pick an impoverished noble, which I usually do, by the way, or if you pick a hunter instead of impoverished noble, you'll have some different characteristics, and I'll show you that. So we're going to go impoverished noble. Usually I take a craftsman's apprentice. Then I take, what do I take here? I mean, it matters a little bit, but I don't think it's a huge thing because you're going to be dumping points into these anyways as your character gains experience and your character levels up. You'll be able to add those attributes anyways. But this is sort of this will affect what you start out with. So I'm going to go with a squire, and then I am going to pick lust for money and power. And then you hit become an adventurer right here. Then you pick your flag, one of the neatest parts of the game. Believe it or not, I like this flag. I always like that. Now, here's another part I want you to make you aware of. Realistic, no quitting without saving. That's nice to do, but I would definitely select allow me to quit without saving. In case you screw up or a major screw up, you're just starting out, I really don't see any issue taking this. So go ahead and take it. Now you're going to come to one of the most talked about screens in the game. This is where you're going to first assign out attribute points, skill points, and weapon points. Those are the big three. So I'm not going to, I could do a whole video on these, but I'm just going to basically give you the rundown. Strength, obviously you see up here, if you see up on the top right, if you highlight over it, it'll tell you what it does. So you can see there, every point adds +1 to the hit points. So it's important. Agility, each point gives 5 weapon points and slightly increases movement speed. Intelligence, every point to intelligence immediately gives 1 extra skill point. And this is one I usually like to go really high on later. It's definitely good late game because you can add stuff like surgery you can increase your surgery. Some very important things, as you can see. You can see here, surgery. It'll tell you surgery, trainer. Trainer's huge, and we'll talk about a little bit about those. Charisma is huge because it allows you to increase the size of your party. So that's another big one. So I will tell you, I usually get my strength up to about 15 and the agility maybe up to 10 or 11, and then the rest of them I dump into these two. But again, you can do this however, there's no right or wrong way to do this. You can play this game any way you want. That's the really cool part about this screen. You can develop the character basically what you want. Let's say you want to be a horse archer. That's what you want to specialize in. Well, there you go, horse archery. You can put points into those. If you want to have a guy that's more into melee stuff, you can put into power strike. I mean, there's all different types of things here. So that's how this works. Now, keep in mind, this initial thing, again, is based off what I had selected earlier, like, who my father was, what my career was, all those things. So if you go back, if I actually went back and did a completely different set, like I was a page or something else, this would be different. So, but I don't think that's hugely important because you're gonna level up here, and you can see here I'm level 1, and as you get to like level 10, 11, you get to add more attribute points. So that's how that works. And let's talk about this a little bit. You can see here my health is 43, my experience is 137 currently, and so I have about 500 or 450 whatever to get to the next level, which is 600. How do you get experience? Well, the big thing is just fighting. That's one of the big ones. You can also fight in the arena. We're going to talk about all that stuff in this video. So we get to the skill points. Now, the main thing is there's skill points for your party because you will develop an army eventually that has many, many soldiers, 50, 60, 70, whatever you want to go up to. However, there are stuff that is just applicable to you. So if we click over this power strike, this is a good one. Power strike. Each point to this skill increases melee damage by 8%, but it's a personal skill. See how that says personal? That means it's just for you. But if we went down to trainer or surgery, right there. Okay, so surgery is a party skill. So each point to this skill gives a 4% chance that a mortally struck member will be wounded rather than killed. Think about that. This is probably, in my opinion, one of the single most important ones you can have. And I like to get a party early, so I usually dump 2 points into that. Now, again, you may not want to do that, but I like to put 2 points into that. And once again, this is simply how you want to do it. The other one is trainer. Now, that's interesting because it says personal skill, but it says every day each hero with this skill adds some experience to every other member of the party. This is, I guess, not too important early on, but when we'll talk a little bit about heroes and how important they are. That's a whole nother video about how to use your companions. But that's a whole nother video, and we'll talk about that. You don't really need this early on, but it is a really good one. Another one good is pathfinding. That's another good party skill, and it increases your speed by 3%. It's huge. It's a big one. Spotting. That's another good one. You can see armies that are close to you. You get an increased range for that. So that's another big party one. Inventory management. I usually like to get that up to 4. I usually do dump some points into that early on because obviously you're going to want to be able to increase your inventory capacity because you are going to in fact need that as you destroy armies and looters and all these other things that we're going to talk about. You'll pick up their gear and you'll need it to sell it. So you want to be able to hold as much of that as possible. So that's why that's important. And if you go over here, you can see, let's take a look. So what I wanted to show you, see how surgery now is capped? I can't put anything more into it. That's because my intelligence, remember I was telling you have to level this up to, so basically what I'm saying is in order to increase that surgery, I have to level up my int more. And you see it says it right there. The following skills cannot be developed beyond 1/3 of intelligence. Well, think about that. We're at 1/3 of intelligence. We have 7 divided by 2. So we need to take this to 8. Well, actually, we can. Let's see this happen. I'm going to show you. See? So I went to 9. Now I can dump another point into it. So that's a very important thing. If you want to level a skill on here and you see that you can't do it anymore, come over here and find out which one is applicable, the attribute, and you'll have to level that up. Let's also get some strength. There we go. And now we can add some more power strike, which I like actually early on. I think it's pretty good to have that. And you see there, it says now not enough strength to add that. Yeah, it's even telling you not enough agility. And if we go down to the surgery now, it's capped. I've got to increase my, the intelligence. So that's how that works. These are really good. Oh, you know what? I do want something into prisoner management. That's a good one to have. You can see there, every level of this skill increases maximum number of prisoners by 5. You want to at least dump one early into that. I like to. It's important. Let's put one into spotting too. And we'll do one into athletics. There we go. Now you come over to the proficiencies. Now, I like one-handed weapons and crossbows. But you may find that you like polearms. Polearms are good because they have a lot of range, and they're really good if you want to, if you're on a horse. But I still prefer the one-handed weapons. It's kind of like a good all-around weapon if you have to melee. It's also, I can use them on horses. Now, I know some people have said, again, I will make this point that everybody likes to do things a little bit different. I've seen so many videos. Some people prefer polearms over the one-handed weapons when they're on horses and stuff like that. So just keep that in mind. So once you're done, it won't let you move ahead unless you've named your guy and you've got everything assigned out. So we do. So you hit done, and now you're going to come to the point where you can basically what you want your character to look like. I usually just hit randomize and just see somebody. Okay, he kind of looks badass. And then you can play around. If you want to make him look a little bit older, he kind of does look younger. Yeah, I like the kind of the weathered look. Okay, a hair color we can screw around with. There we go. You hit done to that. I don't play around with that too much. Now you're going to come to where they talk about the main world, which is Caladria, and is a land torn between rival kingdoms battling each other for supremacy. Kind of sounds like a Game of Thrones thing. And they do have, by the way, a Game of Thrones mod. I haven't played it yet, but anyways, there is a mod. And on the question of mods, I would not recommend that you mod the game until you've played the vanilla game, which is where I have this right now. Mods are a whole nother thing. I wouldn't worry about those early on. So you are going to have to pick a kingdom. Most of the time, I start out with Swadia. It's one of the largest kingdoms. It's a lot of territory. I will tell you, you're not, just because you're starting there doesn't mean that you have to become like a vassal to them, I'll talk about that in a future video. We're not going to get into that stuff right now. This is just the basics of the game. But I usually join this because so you can recruit, and we're going to do that in a little bit, but I like to recruit from Swadia because they get knights. The Swadian knights are tremendous. I usually get in my party 8 or 9 of those guys going within the first couple of weeks, 3 weeks, and you can do some serious damage. They are really not invulnerable, but they are really tough to deal with. Now they cost a lot, but hopefully by that time you have some good income coming in. So we'll go ahead and pick them. It's going to give you this whole thing about it. Okay, occasionally too you catch sight of one of the great war horses, all this stuff. Okay, so you hit continue and you're going to come into the game. Now, I will tell you, they're going to throw you into the town, and immediately you're going to get attacked. So if you have a shield, now, this will vary. You don't always get a shield. If you don't worry if you die here. No big deal. I might even die. I don't know. I'm not the best actual combat guy, but you want to block his... See, he's got a shield. You just have to be patient. I'm being impatient now. But if he does kill you, don't worry about it. You don't even have that much stuff, so... I just want to kill this guy now. He's annoying me. Okay. He's going to kill me. This is terrible. You kind of have to... There, we got him. Okay, that was close. And you notice, you can see how much harder it is to fight with shields. I actually hate fighting guys with shields because of that. They block a lot of stuff you throw. Now, this merchant's going to come running at you. And like I said, if you die, it's no big deal. Sometimes I do. I almost did there. It's no big deal. So you're going to come in here and you're going to talk to the Merchant of Praven, the first guy you're going to talk to. If you don't know what the keys are, go ahead and hit Options. You can come over to Controls, and you can see what the keys are doing. In this case, I am using... What am I using here? It will tell you. I am using... I don't even know what I'm using here. I'm using something. This is funny. I've got it assigned to num0. Where's num0? I don't know why. That's not this one. Anyways, I had changed this out because I didn't like the... But this is where you can change the... You can switch things. And the biggest thing I actually switched was the talk button. And I also switched the leave location retreat thing. So those are the biggest ones that I did. So, but anyways, you can see what they are here if you want to switch them around. That's all. That's the only point I'm trying to make. So you talk to him. You're going to talk to this guy, and he's going to give you a great quest that gives you, and you want to say you're interested in this for sure, because he's going to give you 100 gold. I mean, it's dinars. I call it gold. He's going to give you this thing to collect 5 men, and that's pretty nice. And then you're going to left click out of here, and you can hit Q. Yes, that will pull up your log, and you can see here, you can click on it, the thing. And the nice thing about this first quest, there's no time limit. Now, a lot of these quests, be careful about collecting up a lot of quests. You'll be tempted to do that, like get all these quests, but many of them have time limits. And if you don't complete it, it actually can penalize you. You can actually take a hit with the faction, whoever assigned that out to you. So be careful about accepting a bunch of quests. Maybe do 1 or 2, but don't get a ton of them, because you can run into issues there as well. Okay, so we return here. Now, this is where you, if you haven't changed the key, now I did, you're going to hit the tab key. Actually, it tells you right there, hit tab. Tab is how you get out of a city. That's how you do it. So now we're no longer in the city, and here is the sort of the world map view. It is I recommend when you first get here, why don't you scroll out. You can see here's the whole continent. I've got the arrow keys assigned for left, right, backwards, forwards, but you can see it's huge. Look at all these cities. It's just huge. We're all the way down here in Praven. But you can see here it's huge. You can venture out to these places, feel free. Now, I think when you're first starting out, I think it's a good idea to, I think it's a really good idea just to sort of stick around here. And one of the reasons is, I will tell you that basically, Swadia has a lot of looters, and that's really what you're looking for initially, because they are very easy fights and they have no armor, so it's really easy to kill them. It's a really good thing to start out with. So I would definitely recommend that you start out with looters. Then you can sort of upgrade to some more difficult things like forest bandits. They'll be near these forests. You can start taking them on once you get your armies a little bit larger and you feel more comfortable fighting. I would probably get some upgraded units before I took them on. And then finally, once you get a really, you get a couple knights or something, I usually come over here to this area. This is my favorite area in the game, this Rivacheg. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. But down here is a bunch of sea raiders are coming in here. And they have a lot of loot. They are very difficult, though, so you don't want to take them on for a while. But eventually, when your army's strong enough, they will be you'll be looking for them all over the place, because they provide a lot of loot and a lot of weapons and just a lot of money and a lot of experience. But we're just an army of 1. And so what I want you to do is take a look at this. That says it. That's what that means. In fact, if you highlight over something It will tell you what the army comprises. In this case, it's just me, lonely little atomic. Here's some buttons. We'll go through some of these in a little bit. By the way, you can get to the reports here, but we'll go over that. We'll go over all this stuff. I just wanted to keep in mind we can go to our inventory. We can see what's on us, but we're going to talk about that in the video a little bit later. But for now, we're just going to move our army. Now you'll notice that as long as you're static, it's pause. So right here, we're still stuck in early morning. As I start to move my player around, time starts moving again. It's kind of useful. And I will point out that if you saw an army approaching you, it will stop too. It only moves when you move. So keep that in mind. If you're trying to get away from somebody that's chasing you, you can always just stop and assess the situation. Keep that in mind. There's something else I want to tell you right away too. You can actually, so let's just click to this point out here. I'm going to just go, that's normal speed. If you want to, I just want to let you know this early. If you want to move somewhere real fast, hit Control and space.
I dare you.
And did you see how fast that just went? Yeah, and that leads to a point I'm glad I'm glad that just happened, because you do not want to do this early on because of what just happened. Now it's just me fighting this battle. Now I'm going to go ahead and charge the guy, but that is why you do not want to, in the early game, use that speed option. I highly recommend it. In fact, I don't even do it late in the game. I really only do it if I have to get way across the map to like another town and I just don't want to wait. Then I'll use it. Now, one thing you can do, if you hit the backspace, this gives you a lot of stuff. You can see where the troops are, but it gives you a map where the troops are. Now, I'm glad this happened, because if you are by yourself, which I am right now, the first thing you want to do is this looks like a hard fight, but you're on a horse. So first of all, the first thing you want to do is try to find some level ground, and then you want to sort of get them. Sort of, what I guess what I'd say is group them up. You don't want them all out here. They're throwing stuff at me right now, and I'm receiving some damage, by the way. But the main thing you want them to do is keep throwing all of their stuff at you. They will run out of ammo. In this case, they're throwing stones. And those stones can actually do quite a bit of damage. So what you want to do is just circle them for a while. They can be defeated. Actually, you can defeat them pretty easily by yourself. I don't recommend you do this in your first playthroughs. I recommend you get a little bit more experience. But if you do get in this situation like I just did, you can actually defeat them. And see, eventually they're going to run out of stones to throw at me, and then I can start picking them off. They're still throwing. So all you got to do is just circle them, and they're not really doing a lot of damage. They've done a little damage to my horse, but other than that, see, that guy's still throwing. You can see that he's still throwing a little bit. And see, he just pulled his sword out, and take a look. Nobody is throwing at me anymore. Now, what you want to do is pick off the guys that are the stragglers. I like to call them the stragglers. You never want to go in the heart where they all at. See, that probably wasn't too good. But what you want to do is pick them off, ones that are by themselves. Totally missed that. I'm a little rusty right now. But never go into a big clump of them, because that's where you can get really hurt. I am really rusty right now. See, now, and I hit a rock. You really got to watch it. They almost got me. See there, now your horse will also hit them for damage too if you miss. There, we hit him right there. I don't like this weapon I've got. That's the problem. I'm not used to using this little dinky little weapon they start out. And that's the thing. You'll get preferred weapons and use them. But you can see they've done almost no damage to me. You know, you can see they've... Now, I'm going to show you what happens. I'm going to let them kill me right now. Now, look what happens if I try to fight this. I want to show you. I'm just going to let them kill me because I don't want to sit here and fight this. I'm actually kind of killing them. Actually, but you can see this is why you do not want to do something like that. You want to wear them down and never do what I just did. I showed you that intentionally because it doesn't matter who you're fighting, you will lose. Now, this doesn't really matter because I didn't have that much on me anyways. They might have taken a few of my items, and you can go look at the inventory and see. Oh, gosh. Okay. There's some looters. I don't want to take them on right now. But you can get an idea. Oh, by the way, like I said, I don't know where they went. I don't want to be near them. But you can check your inventory and see what they took. In this case, it doesn't look like they took a lot. Didn't really take a lot, but there wasn't a lot to take, so that's good. By the way, here is the food. Always make sure you have some food. Preferably, you want the food that spoils in this first slot. This will spoil eventually. You want them eating most of that. If you have grain and stuff, put that in this slot here. They will still eat the grain, but you want them ideally to eat through the stuff that's good. I mean, their food goes rotten in this game, so you got to keep an eye on it. All right, so now I want to show you a big part of this early game. Now, there's two ways to do it, two ways to fight. What I just did, where you take them on by yourself, I don't recommend that when you're first starting out. I recommend, and actually I kind of do this anyways, I like to go get some recruits. Now, some people like to do this differently, where they want to just solo for a long time, because think about it. If you solo by yourself, you're going to get all that experience. It's not divided among the party. So keep that in mind, that some of that experience will be divided among the party. Now, here I'm stopped. So these looters they're patrolling. So you can see that there. They're not running from me. Now, a lot of times your army will get so strong, they'll start running from you and you'll have to hunt them down. But you can see there, I can see there's 6 looters are patrolling. And watch if I move here. See, they stopped. So that was the thing I was trying to point out early. If you stop, they stop too. But let's go and see. So there's a castle. Let's see if we can go to this town here and do some recruiting. And we can. So we're going to recruit our very first volunteers. It's not a whole lot of money, but it's important. So let's recruit and let's leave. So now what I want to see, take a look. Now we are at 7. Our party just went up, and you can click on them and you can see, you can talk to them, but I don't usually do that. But you can see here, over here on the left, this is very important. You can see all of the things they are picking up from me. Remember, trade, engineering, look at the surgery. They're picking that up. That's a party skill. So they are benefiting from the points that I put into surgery. Take a look at that. So they, what was it, 4%? I believe it's a 25% default. So I added 16%. So now they have a 41% chance. I might be wrong about that. I think it is. So that's a much greater chance at surviving. So surgery is really important for your party, because if the guy gets wounded, you can heal him up. But if he dies, you lose him. And you lose all the time you invested in him. In this case, we don't have a lot of time invested in them. And you can see they're picking up some other things from me too. And also take a look. Our weekly cost went up. We're now, for the first time, we have an expense. So if I didn't do anything, if I just ran around for the next many, many months, eventually I would run out of money. So just keep that in mind. I mean, the way I look at it is, hey, it's good to have some guys because you can profit. Look at it this way. You're profiting off of them. I think some people who play this game get this wrong. They want to like solo forever. And yes, you can level up faster, but it takes you a lot longer to kill those guys whoever you're fighting. The way I look at it is, hey, I can fight more. I get more loot. I can move faster. That's just kind of the way I look at it. But people have different opinion. Many people have different opinions about this. All right, so we've increased the size of our army, so we can go out now and let's take a look and make sure. Yes. So this is the thing you also want to check, is make sure you're at 100%. You might come out of a fight and you're only at 25%. If that's the case, you need to either camp, which is dangerous, or you can go into town, and for a small fee, you can stay there for a night or two. I recommend early on you spend the night in fact, let's go see. I'll show you this again. So if you go put the guy back in here, you can see, actually we can't do it here. Let's go back. I think this castle, we might have that ability. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. We don't here. We probably do in Praven, so let's go over to Praven. That is that one that just went by me is are probably some royal troops. Do not try to fight them, and they will not bother you unless you have a bad faction rating with them. So generally, just leave them alone. Don't bother them. They won't bother you. And you're not. Trust me, it'll be a long time before you'll be fighting nobles. Eventually, you will do it, and we'll talk about that in another video. But early on, no, you're not doing that. You're just a. There's some. Oh no, those are farmers. So if we come to the, so we're in Praven now, and you can see right here, this is what I wanted to show you. You can wait here for some time. You got to pay, it's just a small fee, but if your army is really injured, it's pretty important you do that. Now, I'm going to go to the marketplace and show you that. Actually, I didn't want to do that. Oh, it's trap. Oh, gosh. Okay. So there's some guys in here that are attacking. This will happen, by the way, sometimes. Oh, there he is. Okay. Let's get our shield. You will sometimes go in here, it's more like a random thing, and they will attack you. So you just got to be ready for that. But if you defeat them, you will actually get... a bonus. So look at that. We got 88 experience. It's actually not so... Oh, I'm getting attacked again. What am I... Okay. Probably should use the crossbow here. Oh, God. I don't have my weapon. Oh, no. Wrong weapon. Oh, God. I didn't have my sword out. Oh, God. Okay. That guy was just cranking at me. Okay, so we got rid of him. Is there more of them? Okay, so for doing that, they gave us some money for clearing the town out, and we got 100. So it's not a terrible thing, but now we're damaged. And actually, since we're damaged, let's go back here. Actually, I want to show you this. So if we go out to the party, see, I've only got 61%. And by the way, if you get ambushed inside the city, you're on your own. Your recruits, your army's not there. So I'm at 61%. So we now got to come in here and let's utilize this. Oh, is this going on again? No. What's going on? Okay, now this is just getting annoying. All right, let's wait here. Let's wait. All right, now let's leave. And I want to show you the army. Show me I'm healed up a little bit. Well, not totally, but I have healed up a little bit. So that's something you can utilize. Let's actually wait a little bit longer. Let's get completely healed up. Okay, that should do it. Let's leave. Let's hit the party, and now we're at 100%. So just keep that in mind, that can be it's much safer camping than doing that. Okay, so let's get some more recruits. Usually what you like to do is go to the towns. So let's go out there. I like to start out with greater than 10, just because it makes me feel better. So let's go here, and let's get some more volunteers. There we go. Recruit them, and let's go back and check our army out. Now we've doubled our army in size. There's a noble. We're not going to deal with the count. He won't attack us anyways. They will, though, clear out what you're looking for is looters. So remember, we are on the lookout for looters. There we go. So our first real fight. Now, if you just click on him, you will hunt him down. You don't have to do anything at that point. I just clicked on him, and he's going to come here now and say surrender or die. Now, what I wanted to talk about is that tactic we did where I intentionally died. You still want to kind of do something like that. You want to get out in front early on. I'm talking about early on. Get out in front with your cavalry, or in this case, I am the cavalry, and break up their formation. You don't even necessarily have to engage them. You can either use your crossbow or whatever you want to do. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to charge the enemy. And now, you see all those guys are highlighted, but I don't want them. I want to break up those looters. I want them to focus on me so my guys can come in and clean them up. Now, as your infantry ranks up, they'll get tougher and tougher to kill. But early on, definitely you want to kind of lead the charge. So that's what I'm doing. Some of these guys will ignore you. Some of them won't. I missed. Of course. I'm not good with this sword. I have a totally different setup. Okay, let's go this way. Okay, think we hit him there. Miss again. Oh my gosh. I'm really missing. But you can see we're distracting these guys. Even if you miss, it's no big deal. See how we're distracting them? We're allowing our troops. We're really, I mean, not all of them, but a lot of them focused on us. So that's really what I wanted to point out. Is that you are really just breaking up their formation. That's so huge in this game. Don't allow them just to charge right into you. Now, later on, that changes, but again, that's what you want to do. Now, after you're done with the fight, it will tell you, battle 1. You don't want to hit the tab key until that's won, by the way. You hit it, and you're going to come here, and it's going to give you a situation report. This case, this is perfect situation. No casualties. I can tell you that if I just let my guys go in there on a frontline assault, they would have lost. We wouldn't have lost it, but we would have definitely have probably suffered some losses. So hit continue, and I'm so glad we took a prisoner because I want to show you about prisoners. That's an early thing. That's a good way to make money, and it's important. So you will have rescued prisoners. Some of these you can actually bring into your own army. And a lot of times I do, especially horsemen. You'll find some horsemen, and they are good. They're called men-at-arms, and they're cheap, and I bring them in. They're almost like fodder, but they're cheap, and they work well. So I usually add them into my army. Or you've actually captured the enemy. So if you hit that, here he is. He's a looter. We capture him. He is now our prisoner. Why do we have this ability? Because we put 1 point. Remember, we put a point in there, we get 5 prisoners. So he is now part of our group. So we hit done. Now we come to the, oh, yes. Okay, see, I would do much better with this. Yes. So actually, that's a great loot from get rid of this piece of junk. I couldn't do anything with that. That was just horrible. That's a horrible weapon. Now I see that's actually, I don't even remember getting this early. Usually it takes me like on the 4th or 5th loot before I get that. And that's the thing. You can kind of check and see, oh, we don't have, okay, so we get a cap now. We can put that on. That will increase our head armor, which is at nothing. There we go. So a lot of things you loot, you can use. I guess that makes sense. I mean, it sounds stupid, but what I guess I'm saying here is be careful about spending a lot of money now you can buy things tactically, like gloves. I usually buy a pair of gloves. But be careful about, I might replace this shield, but be careful about just buying things when you will actually loot a lot of your best equipment. Now, some of it you will have to buy, but just keep that in mind. Oh, and again, keep an eye on your food too. That's at 41.50. We still got a ways, but we probably should buy a bag of grain. I like to have at least 2, and we'll do that. So let's hit return, and then it will tell us we got 23 gold. 34 experience. We shared 76. There's that share thing with our party. And now you can see it says 13 plus 1. Take a look at that. 13 plus 1. So that plus 1 is our prisoner. So let's go back. And it still shows we got our prisoner. Let's see if we can now upgrade anybody. Yes, we can. And this is what you want to start doing. It's important because these guys are just going to be tougher. They're going to be more badass. So let's upgrade them. And look, right here, now we've got the militia. It'll let us do 3 of them. I like to move these guys up. And this is basically, these guys will go first into the line of battle. I believe that's what that means. Actually, I don't know why I'm forgetting this. Yes, I believe so. So you can play with, usually you want your archers and stuff down here when you get a full army. In fact, I'll show you my current game I got going in a minute. So there, we're done with that. We've got some upgrades. I mean, this is good. We got some upgraded soldiers. I think early on, a good size is about 15 soldiers. I think that's pretty good. I'm glad I see this. So the next level, once these guys level up, and they do level, by the way. So they, if you click on him, you talk to him, they do, let's see if he's, well, you can't really see it, but they do, oh yeah, you can see it. So you can see he's got some stuff here too. So you can't, I don't think you can assign them to them. They do that automatically, but with companions you can. But anyways, you can see they level up too. Now what I wanted to show you is once you get the militia, the next tier upgrade is footmen or skirmishers. These guys, footmen, will eventually lead to horsemen, which eventually leads to knights. These lead to crossbowmen. I like to have a good mix. I like to have, like, early game, probably 8 or 9 knights is good, and some crossbowmen, and you're going to have a pretty tough unit. And usually I get it up to about 30, 35 soldiers. And then I really start to kick the crap out of those sea raiders. So that's good to talk about. Now, let's go sell the prisoner. And where do you sell it? Well, you need to find what's called, you're looking for the broker. I don't know if he would be here. Let's see. You got to kind of go look. So you go to the tavern, and what you're looking for, come on. Are we doing this again? This is outrageous. Come on. This is getting annoying. You can see, though, you can get jumped by these guys quite a bit. You have to be ready. I'm not even playing defense here. Okay. There we go. I mean, we are getting quite a bit of money off it, so it's not a terrible thing to fight those guys, but I'm just trying to show you stuff, and they're in the way. What? Okay, can we go to the tavern, please? Okay. That was like, they're a good thing, don't get me wrong. Okay, we don't have a broker here. In fact, you know what? I think that's about what I wanted to show you. Let's go back. Actually, let's go back. And let's go to the marketplace. And we're going to go to the goods merchant. And here you can, to fast select these things in, by the way, you can just hold the control button, throw them in there. You can see here we're going to get 39 gold. He only has 537, so if you go over that, you're going to be giving him stuff. But we can also barter a little bit too. What did we want? We want some more food. I was looking for some grain. Could also take some, do we have some bread's not bad either. Now this pork will rot, so just keep that in mind. But we can take some bread, and there we go. I feel better because we got some more food. So now, now we're only getting 9 gold, but we kind of bartered with them. So you hit return, got some money out of it, and there you go. So that's kind of what you're going to be doing early game. This is a great way to play the game for many, many months, if not years, if you want, to basically, basically what you're going to be doing is just raiding. Raiding. Let's see if we can get rid of this prisoner. I do want to show you the broker. And I think in my other save, if this doesn't, let's go over to Praven. Now, if you just zoom out and you hit Praven, you'll go over there. Let's see if we can find some more looters. If we do, just always keep an eye out on them. If they're around. Those are what you want to be fighting early on. Those aren't looters there. Again, if you highlight over, you can see that's Count Matawars. There's another king. There's a king. All right, so we go in here. Let's go to the tavern. And, oh, there we go. Is that? No, that's... Oh, my gosh. We got 2. Okay, I am glad that... Oh, there's Merchant Praven. Okay, so this is Jeremus. This is a companion. Why not talk a little bit about companions? Now, companions are usually free. There's a whole thing to them, and I have to do another video. But I'm going to talk about Jeremus because I like him early game. Now, this is very controversial. A lot of people, he has some, he doesn't work well. Some of the, make a long story short, some of the companions don't play well with each other. There's a whole list of it. I don't even have it offhand. It's very complicated, but I like Jeremus early on, actually. So if we talk to him, he's going to say, greetings, how you doing? How is that? And I'm going to add him into my group. So we're going to go here. He's going to give you this whole thing. I'm a training philosopher. I think this is probably one of the most powerful companions. Now, some people might disagree with me, but would you travel with us? And he will say, as I told you, I'm a surgeon, not somebody to talk to. Then you're welcome to our company. And now he has joined our company. You will Now let's get this guy too. So we got Jeremis. We're going to keep Jeremis, and we're also going to get this other one. So there's two things you can do. One is you can have them join your party, or you can send them off to spread the good word about you, because later on in late game, you are going to need to start. Well, I'll show you. So we're just going to talk. I wouldn't normally do this, but I do want to show you how to do it. So we're going to go to pass the time of the day. You're going to talk to him again. And you're going to say, I might be able to use you in my company. Good. All right. So we picked up 2 companions. All right. So and usually you'll know their companion because they'll just have, they're an NPC. So he has a real name. You know that one's, but if you see a guy like this, Mercenary Horseman, well, you know he's not, he's just here. So, but if you see a individual name like that, you know it's a companion. And actually, I don't think I've ever gotten both of these 2 guys. They're both real good early on like this. That's amazing. Usually I don't see him for a little bit, Jeremis. But I'm glad it happened. So that's how you add companions. They will join your party. Some of them have costs. Some of them don't. So let's leave. And I want to show you. What I want to show you is, let's go to the party. And there, you can see, didn't we add? I thought we added. I didn't see what happened there. Anyways, Jeremis is part of our party now. So we can click on him. Now, this is where this gets different. He actually has added for us some of his attributes. You see that there? This is why these companions are so useful. But one thing he's got, look at that. Surgery, first aid, trade, everything's boosted. Now, look at the surgery we're getting now. We got a huge boost in surgery. And that's because his attributes now are he's helping out with the party. And that's why companions are huge. I usually keep Jeremis in the back because I don't want to get him killed, because he gives you all of these nice things for your soldiers. Wound treatment, first aid, surgery. Now, if I hit talk to him, this is what you can do differently than just normal parts of your party, normal soldiers. You can add to his equipment. We can see, here's his equipment. We could, I don't have any equipment on me, but I do this all the time. You can give them equipment. I give them swords, whatever. You can give them a horse. So that's one thing you can do. The other thing you can do is we can look at his skills. So you can see here what his skill, and when he levels up, I believe you can alter his. Yes, you can. So you can alter his skills too. The other thing he does, now this is the one thing I wanted to show you. We're not going to get rid of him, but let's say you want him to go spread the good word, because after all, it's important. I didn't do that right. Sorry. I was going to have him go spread the good word. I totally did that wrong. Anyways, what you can do basically is you can go to, let's see, factions. No, what am I looking for here? He increases your honor rating. That's what it does. So they can. I'm not going to talk about this in this video, but they can go and spread the good word for you so that you can eventually take over your own town, or that's what it's about. But we're not going to get into that. But mainly, let's look at our budget report. Now we're going through 21. You can check all these things here. Morale, you can check that. But the most important thing I'm coming for here is the weekly budget. That's the biggest thing. And there's a lot of different ways to make money. One is you can just do what we've been doing, raiding. The other thing, destroying bandits and looters as you see them. The other thing you can do is you can actually start businesses in the city, and you do that by going and finding a guild master. And you're not going to do that for a long time, though, because you need thousands of gold. Initially, you're not worried about that, but you can get all of this passive income that basically lets you concentrate on other things. You don't have to fight for money anymore. You can get so much passive income coming in. You're doing other things. Maybe you can start to focus on taking over and establishing your own empire. Okay, so this is a current save of one of the games I got going, and you can see I have a much larger force. Let's take a look. You can see here I've got almost 10,000 gold. Look at this, though. Weekly cost, 728 gold. I've got Jeremis. There he is. He's down here. But you can see I've got the Swadian Knights. My favorite unit in the game is the Swadian Knight. And again, it's like I told you how you get that. you need to have foot soldiers. Then you can upgrade them to Swadian men at arms, and then you can see once this guy levels up, I can make him a knight. I've got 6 knight. Here are some. I was telling you before that I freed some. After taking on defeating some of the Sea Raiders, they dropped these guys off on me, and I hired them. So you can, if you beat them, you can hire. If you basically what I'm saying is if you capture or free some of their slaves, you can bring them into your party, and that's what I did here. So you can see here I've got kind of I got 6 about 8 archers, and they are classified as archers. By the way, you can, like I said, you can classify groups. And they're by default they're already classified. So here I've got infantry, so about the same mix. I've got a camp follower here. She's another. I freed her and she adds morale and some stuff. You don't really need her. I just kind of did as a joke. We'll see what a huntress does. So I don't think I've had one of those before. And you can see here I'm up here. So this is good. Now what I wanted to show you is how you sell prisoners, because I think here hopefully we have a broker at this tavern. Oh, is he gone? No, he's not. So it's the ransom broker. Perfect. I wanted to show you this. Very critical. This is a good money maker. Always sell your prisoners. So you're going to talk to him, and he's going to say, first, you don't want to say these other things. All you say is, I got some prisoners to sell. You're going to hit that, and then you're just going to select these guys, and it'll tell you what you're going to get. Keep an eye on my money. It's going to go up. Boom. And we just made about 500 or 460, whatever, off that for doing nothing, just holding them prisoner. It wasn't that hard. So you can see, in fact, I might bump that up because I've been actually running up against that limit. So there you can see, and this guy obviously has as much better armor. And let's see if we can get into a fight with some Sea Raiders, because they are definitely. Let's leave here and see if we can find one. But that's why taking prisoners is important. You want to at least have one point into that. Usually 2 to take. I want to get that up to 2 so I can take more. Now here's where the Sea Raiders are landing. You're going to see these. Do not destroy that, because if you destroy it, well, that defeats the point. You want Sea Raiders coming in here, so I never destroy that. I don't think that's a good idea. I'm not sure if they still wouldn't show up, but I think it's diminished. So what I do is I kind of just go up and down this coast a little bit, looking for anything I can find. You know, if I can see anybody here. Let's see. I don't really see anybody, but they'll show up. And one thing you have to watch out for, especially with the Sea Raiders, they can start spawning like crazy. They can start landing in here. And you might, so I wanted to actually talk about that. You got to be really careful. That's one of the reasons I don't like to go fast. There's some right there. Let's fight these guys. What you got to be careful is other armies could show up. So you always have to be careful, because you like if there was a couple around here, he's going to kill him. Get away from him. You can see I'm going to hunt this guy down. Okay.
That's a nice head you have on your shoulders.
I love that. I'm not afraid of you. I will fight. Okay, so I'm just going to do a big charge because I'm going to waste these guys anyways. So here we go. Look at all the cavalry I got. I'm not going to even mess around with these guys. So we're just going to go. Nice sight lines, too. This won't be a problem. I mean, with these knights, they're just going to mow them down. It doesn't even matter. I doubt I'll even suffer. Well, it's possible one of the slave, though, they kind of suck. So we're just destroying it. Even your horse will do. Even if you miss, keep in mind a lot of times you'll just hit them with your horse. So I mean, we're just wrecking our world here. Now, our infantry haven't even got here, and they're almost all dead. You can see our crossbowmen, though. I mean, look how much range our crossbowmen have. They're already hitting them. So now they're fleeing the battlefield. I think we're close to a victory here. Yeah, if they start shouting, yeah, we won the battle. I don't even think we lost anybody. You gotta shout with them. You just have to. So that's that. So let's go and see if what we got here. Wasn't a huge party, but let's take a look. It's no casualties, and we did capture. You can tell because you got 9 killed, 4 wounded. Likely we got some prisoners, and we did. So that's what you'll see. You'll see, and I usually take them all. We just capture them, capture, and there's another, almost $500 I made. So you're gonna hit done. Then you're gonna come to this. Oh, I still have some loot, and you can see that actually matches the Nordic helmet. I probably got that off a Sea Raider. But you just check and see. Mainly I'm checking to see if there's anything here. Right now I don't need any of this, but we do take it because it'll sell for a ton. And there we go. So we hit return, and we just picked up quite a bit. Look at all that. And it says some soldiers after that leveled up. I always go level them up. So I'm keeping my party about 32. Swabian Knights, they can't upgrade anymore. I don't upgrade the slave hunters. I don't know what they, I'm trying to get this one final man at arms. I want 7 knights, so I'm trying to get him upgraded. Let's see what we can do with the infantry. So we can do a sergeant. That's good. Let's do that. Let's go ahead and upgrade him. And you can see our it's getting higher and higher, our money, but we're bringing in more money. Oh, crossbowmen, definitely. So we got 7 crossbowmen now. And this skirmisher eventually will get upgraded to a crossbowman. And there we go. That's that. Well, I hope you found this useful. I will do another video on some more advanced topics, but this will get you started for a long time. And, there's one other thing I wanted to show you. Oh my gosh, I forgot. I'm glad I just thought of it. There's so much to this game. I totally did not want to forget. There's another big way. So let's say you don't want to fight, but you don't want to just go out here. You want to take a little break. And I actually enjoy this. Sometimes I'll just do this for a long time. So you can come in here and you can go enter the arena. Oh, we can't enter it right now because it's too dark. Let's just camp here for a little bit. Late night. Okay. There we go. Okay, so it's done. Let's see if it's open. Still locked? Oh, you know what? So we entered the town. I did not. It's lagging a little bit for some reason right now. But if you find the guildmaster in a city or castle, he doesn't want to talk to me. Yeah. Oh, okay. I wanted to show you. You won't do this for a long time, but you can come in here and you can go. So you got to find the guildmaster in a city. That's the guy you're looking for, the guildmaster. And you can go here and you can go, I wish to buy land for this town. So you hit that. Oh, okay. Anyways, right now I don't have a very good rating with him. But if I did, they would allow you to set up a business enterprise here, which will start to passively. See, this city I don't have really good faction with right now. I did something to anger them. I don't know why I've been killing all these Sea Raiders that loot all their stuff, but you'd think they'd like me a little bit better, but they don't. But that's where you talk to this guy. Just remember that if you want to event, and you're going to need probably 5,000 minimum, but to get the really good ones, you need about 10,000. So really you want to have about 13,000. You don't want to just drain all your money because you got wages and stuff. So once you get to 13,000, then you can come talk to this guy and you can set up a business. I do recommend that you set the business up with the faction that you're going to align with eventually. We'll talk about that in another video. But this is the guy you talk to. And one more thing. Let's go. Can we go to the arena? The door is closed. Okay. Let's see if we can. Let's see if they got an arena over here. I really wanted to show you guys this. We might actually. See how they're running from me now? Look at that. They're running because they're scared. No. Wonder where. Let's just see. Let's go out here. Let's go up to Warcheg. Or no, you know what? Let's go to here. Where's a big city? trying to find... Let's see what we got here. Let's just try this castle. There's also training grounds. I can show you that. Is there a training ground? Trying to find... Well, anyways, trying to find the arena. So just, I'm going to put it on pause for a second, and then I'll find one, and then we'll come back. Okay, so Wercheg had an arena. That's good. So once you find an arena, sometimes they are locked for whatever reason. I don't know if that was a faction problem or what was going on, but anyways, this one, it looks like we can go into it. So we're going to enter this. And basically, you're not going to bring your troops with you or anything. It's just going to be you. And you're just going to get some... You're not going to even bring your equipment. But you're going to come in here. You're going to talk to him. And he's going to tell you all this stuff. I'm Atomic. Well met. All this stuff. About the melee fights. Good. That's what I'm going to do. And then they're going to throw you in this arena. And you are all by your lonesome. Now, you're going to see up there, opponents remaining 40. I doubt you're going to... It's really hard to do that. In fact, I wish I had a shield right now. But to make a long story short, the more guys you get, the more gold and stuff you will... Sometimes they just kill each other. If they do that, that's what you want. Okay, and I think I got to pick up a shield. That's what I wanted. Can we pick up a sword? Yes. There we go. That's what I wanted. So when you're in here, by the way, it's much better for obvious reasons to have a shield. But you can see there up on the top left, I've got opponents beaten 3 and opponents remaining 32. Now, if you let them kill each other, that number will come down. You might actually win the whole damn thing. But you want to try to get 5 at a minimum because you get bonuses for killing 5. You get more. Basically, you get 5, and I think the next increment is 10. You can kind of sneak in here and... So now I've got 4. At a minimum, you want to get 5. Now you'll still get some experience. You just get more if you get 5. See, this guy's going to come up. If you're struggling with a guy, by the way, let the guy come up from behind him. He's going to hit him now. And one thing you got to watch out in here is getting like... A lot of times I die because they like sneak up on you. And so, see, like that guy, that was good. That's what you really got to watch. But we got 6, that's pretty good. I mean, I'm probably going to die here. Okay, that archer was just killing me. Let's let that guy... Okay, we got 7, 8. Yeah, he got me. Okay, so there you go. Now, once you die, you just come back in here. You got to talk to the guy. And they're going to give me 10 gold and 10 experience for that. Because I killed a minimum of 5. If you get 10, you get even more. So the more you kill, obviously you're going to get a lot. Now, you can just keep repeating the process. We can go back in there and, that's what we can do. Oh, this time they gave me a bow and arrow. So anyways, I think that's going to do it. I'm just going to let him kill me here. Give up the fight, yeah. So that's going to do it. That is the basics of this game. There's also training areas. Those are good too. There's another way you can sort of level up. And I think I've covered most of the basic topics. I will definitely do a part 2 to talk about some more advanced topics like companions and just some other things that are a little bit more complicated. How to arrange your troops on the battlefield and command them. Those are a little bit more advanced topics, but you don't really have to worry about those early on if you just follow that tactic I showed you, that you go in with your cavalry, disrupt their lines, let your infantry catch up and your archers, and they'll eventually do the damage for you. So that's going to do it. Thank you again for watching.